Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I got a comment from a wonderful brother. Thank you very much for sharing your comment on my previous video when I talked about the position of God in Islam and Christianity. So where the comment I got was that one of them, which is on the screen now, is that the name Yahweh is the name of God, not Allah. Allah is Arabic, Yahweh is Hebrew. So we are looking at linguistic contextual use. Sometimes you may use a language in the terrain where you are. For example, we are in Nigeria. We can say, for example, I'm in Edo State and say my name of my God is Solobwa. Sometimes Yoruba can say Olorun. But when it says Jehovah, Jehovah is a tetragrammaton, which is called Yahweh. The Ya, the Ha, the Wa, and the Ha. So it's a tetragrammaton in the Hebrew language. When it says in Psalm 83 verse 18, if you look at Psalm 83 verse 18, it said that all men may know that the name of God alone is Yahweh. Name of the Lord alone is what? Yahweh. And that Yahweh means a name specifically for God to determine the majesty. Because in the connotation of it says the Most High. The Most High is in Arabic called A'la. When you say the Most High in Arabic is called A'la, but say the Arabians are not Hebrew. The Arabians are not Hebrew. And the Prophet Muhammad, who came from the Arabs, from descendants of Ishmael, were not Hebrews, they were Arabs. We say as an Arab man, if you want to speak to an Arab person, you speak the language of the Arab. That's why they use the word Allah for the Arabs. So being the Quran written in Arabic, and we Muslims, non-Arabs who read the Quran, read in Arabic, so we use the word Allah. Allah simply means the Most High, from the word A'la. It came from the word A'la. This is the original source of it, A'la, the Most High, which is found in Psalm 83 verse 18. So I've corrected that point. Then the other comment which I got, which I am not pasted, it's not pasted here, was that Hagar, who is the slave from Egypt, who was taken as a wife to Abraham by Sarah herself, because Sarah was suffering from childbearing at that time. So he was not having a child. So he needed someone to continue the line of Abraham. So he brought Hagar. So Hagar became a source for the happiness of Sarah. So if this is a source of the happiness of Sarah, then Hagar had a child called Ishmael. So Ishmael was born by Abraham from the loins of Abraham. So since he came from the loins of Abraham, he cannot deny Ishmael his right as the son of God. So the way then God blessed Sarah because of her obedience and also her sacrifice. God blessed Sarah with a child in an old age. That's what the Bible said. In her old age, she gave birth to a child. This as found in the Bible in Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 to 3 to 4. God blessed Sarah and gave her a son called Isaac. But we cannot say one is covenanted, the other is not covenanted. But if you look at it from the biblical perspective, in Genesis chapter 21, when God ordered, Genesis chapter 20, when God ordered Abraham to sacrifice his son, he took his only son. The Bible says his only son. Now, if you examine it very well, if it's the only son and Ishmael was older than Isaac, so logically, we can say that it was Ishmael who was the only son before Isaac was born that Abraham took, because Ishmael was 14 years older than Isaac. So we can say it was Ishmael, probably from that context, that God told Abraham to take for sacrifice. So there's going to be some argument later on, may say that no, it's not Ishmael, it's Isaac. Let's put the argument aside. Well, none of the child is covenanted. But the seed coming from any of them will be covenanted. Fine. Since Isa alayhi salam came from Isaac, then Muhammad came from what? Ishmael. So both of them are covenanted because they came to pass a message to the world. That's just like this. Please, thank you very much.